Once you
Oh,
search a title, you click on it, and then the book tab has either the FIST or the LGBTQ or challenged, removed, even recommended. And so it's kind of fun because we have books
I
that are
see it.
recommended, but also rated 3, which is for adults, like Elie Wiesel's Night, because of the Holocaust, because it's horrific content, it's horrific history. And it doesn't mean that it should not be given to kids. It just means that be aware that this content can be triggering. It can be, introduce it with care. We're not saying ban this book. We're saying here's some information so you can decide what's best for your kids.
Well, and I want to talk about that, Brooke, because it's part of why you got involved is because you have kids who could be triggered by these kind of things.
Yeah.
And
And
I think that's important because again with the misinformation, a lot of people have painted you as this bigot religious nutcase who
keep
sorry, I love
going.
you.
Keep
By the
going.
way, Brooke and I are like very good friends outside of this world as well. So, but but that's the reality is people have painted you that way. They've said, you don't want kids to learn about their races and things like that, which couldn't be further from the truth. You are a person who looks for that kind of material, but can you just say whatever you feel comfortable with saying about that?
Oh yeah. I adopted 4 African American kids from the foster care system who had significant trauma and who are triggered and run from their classroom when it's brought up unknowingly, and they're embarrassed by it, and they've had horrific experiences, and this is not the way to heal, is to throw it on them. It's not fair. It's not fair. And especially as a parent who is working so hard to help them heal from the trauma, it's insane to me. It's like, hey, we're going to be the parent here and we're going to re-traumatize your kids, so you have to pay for more therapy. Because when I lived in California, we lived in Sacramento, and we would drive all the way to Berkeley to visit the like worldwide specialist in EMDR, where you do the tapping and we would write stories to help them understand it. So to drive 4 hours without traffic, 4 hours without traffic to see the national specialist in EMDR to try and undo trauma. And then they're giving this book to my kid and they're going to re-traumatize them. That's not fair as a parent. That's not fair to my child. And you're not going to do that. And so, obviously you can see that I have a lot of passion about this. But for them to overtake that and tell me that that's healing when I've seen the exact
Right.
opposite and been working to heal so hard, my whole life has been spent trying to heal. Like, when I was talking to the district after we got the law passed, they're like, "Oh, nothing happened," and they told that to us, and I'm like, "Okay," and I waited until the governor had signed it, and I'm like, "Actually, 2 down, this is how it applies." So to even get the bright line rule in use took so much effort. So I brought in Dr. You remember him? We met with him a lot. Anyway, can't remember his name. But he was a forensic child psychologist who testified in court cases to protect children against harms in like Pornhub and pedophilia and everything. And he came into that meeting with district administration and he said, "This is worse. The written stuff in the books that I had given them in binders, this is worse than any of the stuff that I've had to watch on Pornhub in order to testify against these pedophiles." And he said, and if this is triggering by them, they need to immediately see a therapist. He was a psychiatrist, doctoral level. And so it's just like, well, are
Not
you
only
going
a
to be the
doctor level,
expert
but
here,
let's
or are you
be
going to listen to the expert?
right. And this psychiatrist was also a black man. I feel like
Yeah.
that's important. That's important to say because a lot of people think that rating books or judging at all is not wanting the black story told. And
So bizarre.
insulting. It
It's
is
so
so
bizarre. I'm like, that's the black story? Give me
right.
a break.
Right. I
Gosh, there
know.
are so many beautiful stories. And this
Yeah.
is the one that you want to say. But you know where this comes from is the ALA legal counsel, Deborah Caldwell Stone, in, I believe it was 2020. It's on our website, ratedbooks.org. She said, we need to reframe this issue that these books are sexually inappropriate for minors and tell people that this is basically DEI and that this is to bring it in. I'm like, this was an orchestrated attempt. We have video proof that she said this, and it's insulting to people of color to say
Well,
it.
and not only that, but we used to be foster parents as well. And before you could get licensed to be a foster parent, and I'm talking about before 2020, so
Mhm.
6 years ago, okay, before that, a social worker would come in and look at the books on your bookshelf and make sure that the books on your bookshelf were appropriate for the age of the kids in your house. They did want to see diverse books, which I had no problem with. I have books from everywhere because I believe that we should look through windows instead of
Oh, yeah,
mirrors
for
when
sure.
we're learning. And Brooke is the same way. Brooke's also
Hmm.
an educator. Okay,
Yeah.
so this is the way that we look at the world. The difference is I don't need a seventh grader reading Monday's Not Coming and learning all of the sudden that this girl only rides the bus so she can provide oral sex. And that's the kind of stuff that's in these books.